Hello everyone and welcome back to Chronosplays Apollo Justice. Today, I actually don't know what you want me to do. Reckless has to be the key to his motive. There has to be a way to find out what he was up to. He was trying to smuggle it in though, right? I don't know what you want me to determine, nor do I think I know where you want me to determine it. Customs... Is it here? Am I trying to determine how you tried to smuggle it in? I think? I don't know. I guess this was sealed, wrapped tight, right? I mean, why not? If it's wrong, it's wrong. We haven't really presented this like at all, so... Well, the music has stopped. Actually, one second. Sorry about that. Venus was like playing with my trash for some reason. I don't know what she was doing. Oh, don't meow at me. Okay. Actually, there is one way. What? One way to get something out of the country, no checks. What is it? You become a prosecutor. A prosecutor? I don't believe it. Believe it, Prosecutor Gavin. What was it that you told me yesterday at your office? Yeah, it was a beautiful instrument played lovingly for mayors. Mayors? Yes, mayors. And then she made a present of it. And she wrapped it up tight. There you go. I mean, I guess you could have hid it in like packing Phoenix or something as well. No one would be able to notice it. Did I get that right, Prosecutor Gavin? Untouched. Quiet. The guitar was wrapped in several sheets and vacuum packed in Bulgaria. The pack was untouched until the day of the concert. Are you saying that guitar was... With cocoons this small, it would have been very easy to use a guitar as a mule to smuggle a cocaine out... cocaine? No. Cocoon! Not cocaine! Out of Bulgaria. What? Which reminds me, I really fucking hope I haven't been saying cocaine every time Cocoon shows up. Oh no! Oh well, that'll be funny at the very least. Which reminds me, Prosecutor Gavin, that guitar had some work done on it recently, right? Work? Good memory here, Forehead. Yeah. Too bad your memory's all in black and white. Yeah, the igniter. An igniter? Exactly. Consider this, if you will. What if the igniter wasn't the only thing that was attached inside your guitar? You mean... He means this, of course. Ah! There was a way to get a cocoon out of the country. They could use Picky Prosecutor Gavin's privileged guitar as a mule. And who better to do that than someone with access? Like a member of the band. York! Order! Order! So, this igniter was placed in there for a reason, it seems. It was a safety precaution. A precaution? Aha, here, Forehead. At last, it all comes together. Every string that happened that day. Here to review. Maestro, the gentle sounds of Lemira's ballad, if you will. First, my keys were stolen, a harmless misdemeanor, which forced me to break the lock on my guitar case. The key was stolen to retrieve the cocoon from the guitar. I see. But things didn't go so well. The smuggler wasn't counting on the guitar being wrapped. Only a member of the band could get near that case. Unwrapping a guitar would raise too many suspicions. Then the concert began. Right about this time, a very large problem presented itself to the smuggler. What's that? Mr. Troyes. Ah, Mr. Detroit's an undercover agent was onto something. He would have known about the guitar. He'd only have to check the shipping records. So Mr. Detroit tried to examine the guitar himself. If the cocoon were confiscated then, the gig would be up. The only thing left for the smuggler to do was to get rid of that whole thing. It's over. Press the switch, now. The car burst into flames, and the cocoon was lost. And then Mr. Detroit died, with the mayor here to witness it. There's your case. Brilliant, man. Detective Christen, I gotta know, you make all that up on the fly? For a made-up story, it makes a great deal of sense, Darian. Republic of Guinea? Sorry, man, but I haven't even been there. True, you haven't. Huh. Let's see you make up a story for that, kid. How to hide a cocoon in the first place, huh? It was not Mochi. Machi, yeah, it was Machi, okay. It's not hard to imagine. You had help. A Burgundian accomplice. That's all. That you had an accomplice was clear from the start. The voice Lemire heard proves it. You made this transmission from backstage, while your co-conspirator was on stage. But who was it? This is it, the coup de grace. Finn Balor off the top rope, and for once I know what I'm doing. I actually have not had that hard of a time with this trial, Apollo. I take that as great offense. Yeah, sure, almost every trial I've ever done in this series, either Phoenix Wright or even your last few cases, I fuck up every once in a while, and it takes me a few attempts to get it right. Never really lost, I think. I've never gotten a game over in Phoenix Wright, right? I don't ever remember getting a game over on Phoenix Wright. So I'm gonna assume I didn't. There you go. There's only one person who could have helped him. It was Trucy! No, let's hear what Mr. Justice has to say. But be warned, with a great accusation comes great responsibility. Make up your answer on the fly, as it were, and you'll be partially penalized. Are you ready, Mr. Justice? Who was the smuggler's accomplice? It was clearly you. There's only one person who meets all the requirements of the accomplice, and that person is the defendant, Machi Tobe. But Mr. Justice, he's your client. An defense attorney accusing his client, that's a new one. I assure you, no one is more unhappy about this than I. But I am here to defend him from the murder of Mr. Detroit, and I stand by my statement earlier that he is innocent in that particular crime. Indeed, the defendant is Burgundian. He does meet the basic requirements to be the accomplice. But what if it was, in fact, Lemire? It couldn't have. Well, you seem sure of yourself. The reason is electronic signals, Your Honor. Electronic signals. Recall this remote only works in a range of 30 feet. Beyond that, it's useless. Yes, that's true. Now think back to the testimony. When the shooter made his transmission, Lemire was in the air vent, right above the dressing room where the shooter stood. Look at the diagram. This is the area that the remote could reach from the air vent. Well, looking at this, it seems that Lemire still could have done the deed. No. When the shooter made the transmission, the stage was slightly different than shown here. It was in the middle of the guitar serenade. Oh, he was up in the air outside the bubble? Right, okay. Part of the stage was raised. Prosecutor Gavin and Lemire stand in there, where in the air. They were on a tower which happens to be 15 feet tall. In other words, the remote couldn't have worked from Lemire's position in the air vent. Ah. Well, Detective Christen, what do you say for that? Your Honor. Yes, Detective? Could we see the video where Gavin's guitar burns? Just one more time. Yeah, well, I don't see why not. What? Don't tell me he has a way out of this. Okay. There's the spark. There's it burning. That's true. Too bad, so sad, punk. Punk? First you sleeves, then kid, now punk. You're losing ranks fast, Paulo. What exactly were we supposed to see in that video? The problem isn't what we see, correct, Darian? Right. It's what you hear. We're all magicians, after all. Here to explain for us non-musicians. Sure thing, punk. Let me get your yawn straight first. You're saying I order the Wii pianist to set off the uniter? That's right? Yeah? Well, in order to do that, he'd have to press a switch. Am I right? Yeah? Well, listen, pay attention to the piano. Piano? Well, it was found in the piano. I mean, it was found in the piano, right? So, I guess we haven't told them that yet? What seems to be the problem? The piano sounded just fine. And that's the problem, man. You still don't get it? Ah. Yeah, how's he supposed to hit that switch if he's playing? Because it was inside the piano. You just had to press a button, right? You got Ms. Diva, the guitar, the bass, the piano, the drums. The only one with her hands free was the diva. Namira! But according to you, she couldn't have been the accomplice, could she? Irk? Your accomplice would have had a hard time helping out. If they couldn't even press a switch. But it was inside the piano? Okay, we don't need to see this again. Like, can we listen to the, I don't know, the audio only? Couldn't I press the switch? Well, Mr. Justice, the piano does seem to be playing when the guitar catches fire. Well, it's okay. We all make mistakes sometimes. Apollo! Were you wrong? I can't be wrong. I'm never wrong. It's not in the script. Everything makes sense. Perfect sense. How could it all just... Strange. What's strange? Nah, just... Something's odd about that performance there. Odd? Justice. If Machitobi didn't press the switch, then he could not have been the accomplice he claims he is. But everything points to it. Every fact says he's the accomplice. You got the facts wrong, man. Here's some facts for you. Gavin's guitar is on fire, but the pianist didn't press the switch. In other words, your story is full of holes. Mr. Justice, let's hear your final opinion on the matter. Was the defendant Machitobi the accomplice? Your answer will reflect on everything you've said here. Give it some thought. Apollo! If Machi was not the accomplice, then our whole case is ruined! I know that. It has to be him. He was the only one who could have helped the smuggler. He had to press the switch. It was in the piano! You better find a way to prove it! What do I do? What do I do? There has to be something that doesn't fit. It was in the piano. Wait a sec. What? You thought of something? What was Gavin saying just now? Holy fuck, really? It's not even 2 minutes. I'm not even mad at the flashbacks anymore. I'm just impressed that they thought this was necessary. It's not much to go on, but it's all I got. What exactly did you hear that was odd? Have you come up with something, Mr. Justice? May I remind you that everything rests on this? Can you prove Machitobi pressed the switch? Let's hear your final answer. Can you prove that Machitobi pressed the switch? Yeah! I don't know if I call it proof per se, but I can prove it was possible. Then, as a prosecutor, it falls me to ask you to show us how the show's evidence is more than this. Here, forehead. If you're sure about this, accept it. There's no evidence, man. So your evidence, Mr. Justice. On what you do what do you... Yeah, it's gotta be this, right? Right? We gotta listen to the sound? And there's probably... That's voice. This is the thing. I have no idea. It's a third one? Why is this still going? Oh, it wasn't all the way down. I mean, I'm not a pianist, no more like a musician, so I don't fucking know. I'm just gonna present it anyways, because it's the only thing I got. The basis for my claim is music, Your Honor. Music? What about music? Let's listen to the piano. Fuck! Around the time when the switch was pressed. Right before the guitar burst into flame. I still couldn't fucking hear it. I hear piano being played. But, doesn't it sound kind of simple? Simple? Ah, I think I know what he's suggesting. You think Machi could have played that part with one hand? Kind of like how I use the computer. One hand? He only needed one hand to press a switch. He could play the piano with the other. What, so you're some kind of piano savant? Actually no. Then what do you know? You can't play a part like that with one hand. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about here. Wait, I know. Hey, Truthy. Oh, yeah. Just, why are you imitating me, Apollo? Yeah, something. Mr. Wright, your father. He's a pianist. Could he? Oh, Daddy? He couldn't play a part like that even with if he had three hands. So sorry. So sad for you. No, not really. Huh? That was just the easy way to prove it. There's always the hard way. Man, how are you going to prove whether he played it with one hand or two? You can't. Admit it. I admit it will be rather difficult to prove, but it's highly likely he's playing with one hand. How do you know that? The clue is what Prosecutor Gavin described as sounding odd. What sounded odd? I'll bet we can tell by listening to a certain part of the song. No way. Well, it's come to the moment of truth. Let's hear what Mr. Justice has to say for himself. Shows the part that proves the defendant was playing with one hand, right before the guitar burst into flames. Machi was definitely playing one-handed just before the guitar caught fire, and one section of the song proves it. That is absolutely bullshit. And by bullshit, I mean true, but I don't know. Turn that off. I don't fucking know. Let me put my other earbud in. Okay, nothing has changed. Can we play again? Okay, I mean... No, I was gonna say it sounds different than the first part. Kind of. Doesn't really sound too different throughout. I mean, fuck. I don't know. I guess the first part of the song sounds a little bit different. Slightly. The first and last part sounds a little bit different than the second parts. This is the middle parts. Oh, man. I don't fucking know. This is bad evidence, by the way. This is actually extremely awful evidence to prove that someone's playing with one hand because it's not visual, and I have no fucking idea. So first and fourth part sound different than the second parts. I guess. Fuck. I don't know. Is that what I'm trying to prove, that they sound different? So we would want to probably do either of these? That's the section. I'm afraid I don't hear it. Fuck! What's your opinion as artist, Prosecutor Gavin? It's a beautiful song, and the lyrics, oh, outstanding. I'll take that means there's no problem with this section at all. Wait, so what was that odd thing that Gavin heard? Switch was pressed in the first half of the second verse. I know, I just need to find the place to compare to that. Your Honor, if I'll give you one more chance, I think I can find it. I suppose we don't have a choice. Very well. You claim the defendant was playing with one hand when the switch was pressed. Show us the part that proves it. Aren't you definitely playing one-handed just before the guitar got fire? And one section of the song proves it. Don't. Well, I didn't get penalized, so I guess I can just present whatever. Prosecutor Gavin, what's different? I'm sure you've realized by now just what it was that sounded odd to you. As I'm sure you've realized yourself here, Forehead. Really is what? I'll demonstrate. Let's listen to the part in question. Apparently it was just the first part. That sounded better, I feel like, than the sure. Pay particular attention to the but a fleeting melody phase. I was doing all right and not getting things wrong, but apparently, ooh, go figure, audio would be a problem for me in this game outside of recording. Man, how many times do we have to listen to that same thing? You're right, enough of that. Let's listen to another section, shall we? Another section? The guitar bursts into flame at the end of the second verse. Let's listen to the same spot, in the first verse. Pay attention to the oh that night in your embrace. Wow, I hear nothing fucking different. I mean, it's it's different, but it doesn't sound bad. Play verse 2 again. There, did you hear it? The one, I guess? I don't know. They feel the same, true. But they're clearly very different. What? Well put, Your Honor. It seems like, Darian and Chronos are on the same wavelength of not knowing what the fuck's going on right now. The phase in verse 2 is quite simple, and the same phrase in verse 1 is high and low notes. You'd have to use two hands to play that for sure. No, what's the point? What's that to prove? I would think you'd know that by now. This is why I hate dealing with amateurs, man. So the two verses had different arrangements. Happens all the time. Not this time, Darian. There had no point in changing the arrangement if you can't hear it clearly. And that wasn't the point. I had them play specifically so that the piano would stay in the background. That was what I noticed. Why should the same phrase sound slightly different, I asked myself. And I asked myself why Machi changed how he played, and there's only one answer. He needed a free hand in order to press the switch. Anew! Order! I believe this ties all the facts together. Well, Prosecutor Gavin? Yes, quite. Though personally, this comes as a terrible disappointment. Huh. What, no comeback? Can't believe it. I finally did it. I shut him up. Very well, barring an objection from the prosecution, I will now state the court's opinion on the matter. Huh. Ha ha ha. Ha 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 ha. Good show, Sleeves. No, great show. It's not over? I don't like this when he looks so happy. You tell him, Gavin. Tell him what's so disappointing. Personally, I'm terribly disappointed. In you here, Forehead. Huh? Me? Yeah, don't get me wrong. Your case is solid. The facts all check out, but even now, you have yet to show us a single piece of decisive evidence. Yeah, but the facts. Anyone can see it was him. Unfortunately, anyone does not include the law. I'm afraid your case doesn't cut it. That'd be very weird. It also nothing proves that Machi did it either. Actually, everything proves that he didn't do it. There is literally so much evidence, the fact that Machi could not have done it, and no decisive evidence that he did do it, that there is legitimately no way he would be convicted unless there was money being exchanged somewhere. But 1,000 facts might point towards the same conclusion. But without decisive evidence, it's not proof. You guys should tell yourself that. That's the rule under our current legal system. I don't believe it. It does not seem as though the defense has any more evidence to present. Oh, I think he did. I think if he did, we'd already have seen it a long ways back. It is unfortunate, but at present, this court is unable to acknowledge your accusations. What? So it's a hung trial then? Because you couldn't possibly convict Machi of it. Literally everything has proven that, every evidence has proven that he didn't do it. Truth is staring us right in the face. Why can't they see it? What's the point of a legal system that protects criminals? Apollo, remember what Daddy said! Okay, so what do I do? Okay, so you want us to fake evidence? I can do that. There's an igniter inside him. Okay. I wonder what he meant by every man's igniter. Should we burn him alive? I can do that. I know fireball. I think you just meant a weak spot, no? The kind of thing that a single spark could turn to a wildfire of emotion. Won't be able to press him further by conventional means. I've got to find a weak spot in this guy. Something fatal. So, can I get back to work now or what? It may look like I got a lot of time on my hands, but I got no more time to play than pretend with this deadweight attorney. Well, Mr. Justice, we've come this far without any decisive evidence. This witness won't be coming back to the stand once you let him go. Every man has an igniter. Huh? Didn't you say the better the guitar, the brighter it burns, Prosecutor Gavin? Ah, yes, good guitars are kept dry as wire. That provides the best sound. Even a small spark could cause irreparable damage. Your plan has an igniter too, Detective. It was there, from the very beginning. What? Fighting time, Justice. If you blow this one, he'll be out on your hands for good. Go for it, Apollo. What? And this igniter is supposed to come burn me up? Almost poetic. All the better, I'd rather found poetry, and I intend to hear this one through to the very end. Here, Forehead, you are accusing this man, Darren Crescent, of 2 crimes. The murder of Mr. Choice and smuggling of the Bulgarian cocoon. This is your last chance to prove your case. This trial has already run on for far too long. Not really. Mr. Justice, this will be my last warning. The moment this igniter of yours turns out to be a dud, it is the moment this examination ends. Understood? Yes, Your Honor. Then let's have it. Show us the basis of this accusation against Darren Crescent. It's really my last chance. One second. I gotta save. Save. Okay, what were the options? Present evidence, call a witness. Well, we don't have evidence. I mean, if everything we've already fucking have shown is not the evidence they need to at least get Machi off of this case and invest Darian fucking over there, then nothing we have would be good enough, right? So call a witness? Are we calling Machi? I feel like we're calling Machi. Your igniter isn't a piece of evidence. Huh? So what is? It's true that I couldn't show decisive evidence, but perhaps what I needed to prove my case was something else. You mean a witness? Proving his guilt is a tall order, but I've got just the person to do it. Very well, Mr. Justice. Who is this person who can prove Darian Crescent's guilt? The one person who can prove Darian Crescent's guilt is the defendant, Machi Tobai. Your client, again? Machi Tobai was an accomplice to the cocoon smuggling plot. Without him, Darian Crescent could not have gotten the cocoon. Furthermore, he can easily prove that the one who plotted the smuggling of that cocoon is the real criminal in this case. How so? It would require just one of the very cocoons Mr. LaCroix was looking for. With the cooperation of the Republic of Virginia, we could burn a cocoon. The burnt cocoon would leave a particular residue. The residue we would, no doubt, also find inside the burnt-out guitar. Aha, very scientific of you. Thus, if Machi Tobi's acknowledges his agreement with Darian Crescent concerning the attempted smuggling of Borginian cocoon, the case is solved. Huh. Now, Darian's laughing again. Your unalleged passion is remarkable. You really want to get me, don't you? Too bad you'll never be able to. Why's not? Little key tickler won't acknowledge anything, especially not anything to do with the cocoon smuggling. What's this all about? Taking the cocoon out of the country means death. By Borginian law. Yeah, see? If your pianist really was smuggler, then testifying about it would be suicidal. I mean, we could just not send him back, maybe? That would probably give bad relations. But you're wrong, Detective Crescent. What? It's the other way around. If Machi doesn't admit to smuggling here, he's in deep trouble. Huh? How? Look, if Machi admits to smuggling here, then he'll be tried in our courts by our laws. You don't get the death penalty for smuggling in our country. The victim in this case was an undercover Interpol agent. I'm sure the news has already reached Borginia, and they'd like to broadcast our dealings in court today, including the part about the Borginian cocoon. Yeah, but I say what in the but if Machi doesn't admit to smuggling now, he'll eventually be picked up by the Borginian police. And it's not like he's in any danger in our court. And we're not going to find him guilty of murder here, not now. Yeah, but you can't do this. You can't accuse me. Maybe the law doesn't allow it, but who's going to think you're really innocent after hearing this trial? The same goes for Machi Tobi. The cocoon smuggling, your entire plan, Machi Tobi knows everything. There's only one way out of it for him, and that's to acknowledge his own crime. The crime of cocoon smuggling. Don't worry there. I'll get you out of the country. I'll set you up someplace, a hidden mansion, real nice. You want a house made of cookies? Or no, a house made of pianos? Come on. Please! What the fuck? Ah! Yeah? Darian, I consider that my last session with you. We rocked. I'm guessing we can treat that outpost as a confession. He's laughing again. There's a kind of sick desperation in it now. Well, have you been listening to today's trial? Yes. and you'll talk. You'll tell this court everything. I didn't want to turn out this way, but I'm not the kind of lawyer that can overlook a crime. Today's trial was all for your benefit, you know. I see no reason why you should hesitate now. I knew, from beginning, I knew. Machi. Situation, I cannot explain, but money, I needed. Very much money. Today's trial raises a delicate issue about our legal system. The only thing definite in court of law is evidence. This is the golden rule. However, it has become apparent that not all things can be tried by this standard. Should another case of this sort surface, we may have to consider an alternate system by which to administer justice. Anyway, Mr. Machitobi. Yes? I promise you will receive a fair trial by the law of our country. And with regards to the current charges for murder of Mr. Choice, this court is prepared to announce a verdict. I thank you. I only lie, but you see truth. You find truth. That's our job. Very well. This court finds the defendant Machitobi guilty as fuck. No, not guilty. Court is adjourned. Okay, well, for the most part, that case was really easy. I feel like I didn't get stuck on too many things. Up until the sound part at the end with the piano. But even then, that wasn't that bad. I wonder what happened to Machi. Well, he did smuggle a cocoon out of Virginia. I guess there'll be another trial here. All's well that ends well. Diddy! I owe you both my thanks. Lemira? My, is something wrong? I'm sorry, Machi was your partner on stage, your friend. Yes, I thought of him as my own son. Even now I do, yet something got a hold of him, something evil. I see that. And you must pay for what he has done. Is that not how it should be? I'm still sorry. Do not be sorry. You have given me courage. Courage? I am considering an eye operation. Yeah, it was my suggestion, actually. You mean you'll be able to see again? Maybe. It's funny, I've always been afraid of the light. Light seems so harsh, so unforgiving. According to the doctor, Lemira lost her sight due to some kind of accident. An accident? As you know, I suffer from amnesia. I fear that if I could see, perhaps it would open my eyes to the truth I have been running from. I have been scared. You know what changed her mind? Hearing your defense in there today. She could feel your gaze, unwavering, always looking straight at the truth. If the light returns to my eyesight, or my eyes, I think I will take up painting. Painting? Oh, that's right! She's the landscape painter in town, after all. I'll paint the two of you, I promise. Oh, woohoo! I can't wait, Lemira! You my thanks too, Paula. Thanks, Mr. Wright? But for what? You reminded me I needed to hurry things along. On my secret mission, that is. Right, your secret mission. Apollo, Trucy, I hope that we will meet again someday. You bet, me too! And so, like a ballad, the trial flowed on, and then it came to an end. Thanks to the trial, the Guitar Serenade was a huge hit. Prosecutor Gavin's even more dazzling to look at now. But there's something I want to say to that guy. Next time we write a ballad, have them catch the killer at the end! Thank you, Trucy. End. Thank you for Turnabout Serenade. Save progress? Yes! And I'll save it here. And then I can just end the episode. Thank you for watching. I will see you all next episode. Bye. What the fuck just happened there? Actually, what just happened there? I've never seen that before. I have no idea what the fuck just happened. Okay, to be fair, I haven't been to this screen like ever since the beginning of the game. It's usually like this screen, and I just continue. Yeah, I actually have not seen that screen ever. I don't think I've ever returned to the menu from there. I usually just come to the title screen and come here. Anyways, that is, and like when I load the game, it just goes into the game from there. Wow. Oh, that was actually shocking. I will see you all next episode. Have a great day. Bye.